people automatically assume he had to have done something. Because you hear how everybody would, you get this role in Hollywood, you had to have done something.
People automatically assume he must have done something because they hear about how everyone knows that in order to get a role in Hollywood, one must have accomplished something. Consequently, when my podcast suddenly rises in the rankings, people automatically assume that I don't play like that. I don't know, I've never been approached or proposed to. Shannon Sharpe was supported by Katt Williams after he was canceled. Shannon Sharpe, who is well known for his candid and frequently controversial remarks, found himself in the spotlight after making a number of remarks and taking actions that sparked a social media uproar. The controversy's specifics involve a heated debate during a live broadcast in which he stated strong opinions that many found insulting, sparking widespread requests for his cancellation. There are typically serious obstacles associated with being a star. The toxicity of the industry, which Katt Williams warned about only a few months ago, is something Shannon Sharpe is now experiencing firsthand and is finding all too real. Shannon's podcast, Shay, has been gaining impressive traction, especially after Katt's interview. However, despite Shannon's recent success, the industry hasn't accepted him universally. In a recent interview, Shannon expressed his frustration about numerous celebrities trying to cancel his show and undermine him. These attempts have escalated to threats, and numerous guests who were initially excited to appear on his show have abruptly canceled without explanation. I have a pretty stable home situation to understand. There are meetings, studies, trains, and things I need to pay for. If he's willing to pay that price, greatness and success have a price, and if you're not willing to pay that price, you don't deserve to be great or successful. Therefore, the question that Cam will have to answer for himself. Not his parents, not his handlers, Katt Williams expressed his support for Shannon Sharpe on social media. Williams, who is well known for his own contentious remarks and fearless humor, supported Sharpe's freedom to voice his thoughts without worrying about his shows getting canceled. Williams stressed the value of free speech and the necessity of a culture that accepts different points of view, regardless of how unpopular or contentious they may be. He contended that canceling Sharpe for his remarks creates a risky precedent and stifles candid and open communication. Both Williams supporters and those of Sharpe received a great deal of support for Sharpe. Williams received a lot of accolades for opposing cancel culture and promoting communication over division. Williams' posts received a plethora of supportive and consensual responses. We've always known that the profession is poisonous, but the circumstances around Shannon are reaching unprecedented levels. There are speculations going around that Shannon's life may be in jeopardy because of the growing animosity in a recent interview. Shannon talked candidly about the uncomfortable difficulties he's faced since his viral in an earlier interview this year. Katt Williams gave an explanation of why celebrities feel comfortable sharing their experiences on his podcast with Cam Newton. Shannon explained that he has never pretended to be a journalist and that he is not one that goes, I try to create the best content that I possibly can. Instead, he shared that before each interview, he asks his guests if there are any subjects they would prefer to avoid in order to make them feel comfortable and authentically represent themselves to the world. The team I've put together, and I aim to generate content that my viewing and listening audience wants to see and hear. Our goal is to try to create the best content for people who might not know. After his incredible football career, which saw him inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011, Shannon went on to become a broadcaster for CBS Sports' NFL Today pregame show. There he covered shows like the Subway postgame show and the Sprint halftime report in 2013. Shannon furthered his career as a columnist and spokesperson for Fitness RX for Men magazine, even making an appearance on the magazine's cover later in 2016. In 2016, He collaborated with Skip Biss on the FS1 sports debate show Ski and Shan. Unquestionably, Shannon Sharpe already had a solid reputation in the industry from presenting Club Shay. So he didn't go into podcasting just because it was the newest fad. Alongside former NFL player Shadow Cinco Johnson, Shannon hosts another podcast nightcap. However, Club Shay is particularly well known because of multiple viral interviews, including those with Steve Harvey and Katt Williams in 2021. The Apple Podcast editorial highlighted the significance of the Bubba Wallace episode. In 2020, during the pandemic, Shannon Sharpe launched Club Shay, discovering a newfound passion for podcasting. His goal was to create a platform where Black entertainers could freely share their stories without fear of harsh judgment. As Shannon himself puts it, despite his extensive media experience, he is a conversationalist, not a journalist. Shannon Sharpe's path exemplifies his resilience and knack for engaging his audience amid the industry's hurdles and adversity. Shannon was caught off guard by the phenomenal success his podcast experienced in 2024, much of which was attributable to Katt Williams. After nearly a year of trying, Shannon finally got a break when he met Katt's new manager at random, and she introduced him to the comedian. A week later, Katt was sharing trade secrets on Club Shay. At first, Shannon wasn't sure how well the episode would do. Prior to that, his most popular YouTube video, which had garnered over 8 million views, was about Steve Harvey. However, following the session with the Katt, Shannon's producer predicted a big success. Shannon estimated that the episode may, at most, eclipse the Steve Harvey one's around 10 million views. But he was in for a major shock. The Katt Williams episode demonstrates his talent for engaging audiences in spite of obstacles in the business and controversy. Notably, he called Kevin Hart an industry plan. Katt started off by criticizing Kevin's depiction of his East Coast background, saying it was unlikely that Kevin would have started his career there and then quickly gained widespread fame in Los Angeles. Katt questioned Kevin's rapid rise in the industry, claiming that he appeared out of nowhere, acquiring prominent roles in television roles that other comedians required years to secure. He credited Kevin's achievements to shady things, implying that he was an industry plan cat. He also blamed Kevin of acting as a gatekeeper, facilitating the ascent of other industry players such as given their long-standing rivalry. Tiffany Haddish Katt's criticism of Kevin Hart's heart wasn't shocking. In a prior interview, Katt voiced her disdain of Kevin's decision to wear a dress on screen, implying that the way straight Black men in dresses are portrayed in the media is a result of industry manipulation. Gatekeepers seeking to discredit Black manhood identified a concerning when Trent speaks out. The industry responds by undermining his credibility and portraying him as unstable. It appears that Shannon Sharpe is facing a similar backlash. Earlier this year, when Katt appeared on Sharpe's podcast, he warned Shannon about turning Club Shay into a venue for truth-telling. Little did he know the extent of the hostility. Guests who had previously eagerly accepted the show's invitations are now withdrawing. Shannon is facing criticism for his interviewing style, receiving hate comments and facing attempts to silence him completely. Take DL High as an example. In the Shay interview, DL High harshly chastised Katt for his comments about other comedians. Reports suggest that DL High may have been dissatisfied with the attention Shannon and Katt received from their interview, which is why he attempted to undermine it. But he is not alone in these sentiments. Shannon's unexpected reaction to his situation with DL High raises questions, especially since there was no known conflict between reports. Steve Harvey is another person who is purportedly implicated in possibly ruining Shannon's career. Interestingly, Steve had previously been on Club Shay,